Welcome back to 539, everybody. Today we're gonna check out this cool little graveyard in the middle of countryside Indiana here, and I'm not sure exactly what's gonna be inside this church. I doubt it's gonna be open. We might be able to take a look in the windows, but it looks like there's some older style graves here, some things from the 1800s, and maybe even a little bit, well, probably not older, but maybe we'll get some early 1800s and some people that were born in the 1700s and around the time of the American independence. So let's see what we can find. And again, like I said, there might be some older stuff around the edges here, some abandoned things from old farms. Looked like there was some like lion statues leading down an old driveway. It doesn't look like there's any buildings or anything, but who knows. Definitely used to be an old road right next to us, maybe even back before cars were around. Maybe it was just for a horse and carriage. This thing is so cool looking. And definitely an old, cracking, decaying road here that I'm walking on right now. So it's kind of screaming that this place is pretty old. And as you can tell, a lot of the graves are, at least the people are born in the mid-1800s here. This is interesting. Again, you see an occupation here as a housekeeper for priest, which I've never seen anything like that before. And now, actually right next to it, noticing this too, this was Reverend Dominic Duham, born in Germany in 1842. And then looks like came all the way over here and was a priest here in the United States. And I would assume that it was probably this church right behind us here, and if not, a nearby one. But this is really cool. It didn't look like there were going to be any older graves here, and it actually turned out to have a whole section and some really, really interesting stuff. Looks like a lot of German names that I'm seeing so far. So maybe a heavy German immigration area. There's even this little lip here. I don't know if it was to prevent cars and was installed when the invention of cars took place back in the day, and they didn't want them to drive down the center part here. This section is super incredible. I'm getting to see a lot more decay in this area. And again, walking on this road here, which is not really accessible by vehicle. You could drive around back, but it's mostly grass back there, and so I'm assuming that they really don't want you driving all the way around here anymore. Fairly unique versions again. I haven't found one yet that has the cross actually carved into it. And directly next to it, it looks like, again, they have the symbol of a cross here at the top in the form of two branches that have been crossed together, which again, even side by side in two crosses, they are very unique from each other. And although this one at the very end is not a Woodmen of America monument, it was also fashioned with a cross at the very top to match the other three on what is most likely a little family section here. And next to this place actually appears to be the new church. I'm not sure if there's an actual connection between the two, but it is the nearest church to this graveyard today. And there's been lots of deterioration here on this row. It seems like this construction style The crosses here did not really hold up to the weather very well. And again, these stones always survive so well. The metalwork is amazing. And continuing down this row here, you can see from the divots in the ground that there are graves here that are no longer marked. And this section here is mostly lost. In fact, it's very, very hard to tell what this one here even says. This one here is a little bit better. It's still showing a lot of wear and tear and definitely needs to be placed upright again. And being very careful not to step on any of the unmarked graves. I'm gonna try and make my way in between here. There's a lot of deteriorated memorials here towards the back. It'd be so easy back here to run right over the top of something. In fact, a lot of these markers are so hidden that I'm only noticing them as I get closer, including this one right here. Which thankfully, since the grass is being mown, it actually sticks out enough to be spotted. But you could imagine in high grass this would go completely unnoticed. I'm not seeing many markers for veterans here. It looks like this might be one right here. Definitely looks like a veteran's marker of some sort, but a little bit difficult to tell what war they would have served in. So there appears to be lots and lots of missing graves. And you can even see here the section marker continues on, but when we look around, there's nothing over here. And so as we follow the row this way, there in theory is probably lots of graves here, but they have long since deteriorated and fallen below the ground level. I'm surprised that we're not really seeing anything in this area here, as I can see the fencing right here, which would indicate the edge, but there's definitely nothing but debris back here. Before we continue on that direction, I wanted to skip down a few rows here. This is really kind of interesting here. I've never found a metal grave quite like this, and it appears that they were also a Civil War veteran. It's kind of interesting. I don't know how well you guys can actually see in there, but it's cracked open and you can see that the inside has actually been filled with cement, which to my guess would have been to strengthen it from cracking, although I'm not sure that it would really help. We've got a few more veterans this way. Looks like this would have been a World War II or World War I vet here potentially. And then behind is, it looks like a Civil War veteran. So let's go ahead and walk down this aisle here of the historic section, and we'll do a quick loop around this chapel up here and see if we can get an interior view, or if it has any historical plaques on it to let us know some of the connection to what undoubtedly would have been some of the caretakers and and a priest that worked here at this church. It's quite a beautiful structure here, and definitely well taken care of. Some amazing stained glass windows, and also equipped with a very, very nice bell tower here. It is very locked up and has a brand new lock, and is obviously currently still in use. But I will get a look in the windows if that is possible. So if we go to this back window here, we should be able to get a little bit, maybe. It's having a real hard time focusing with this screen, but you can get kind of a cool view there of the stained glass. You can see a tiny bit inside and some of the statues and seating there. I don't know if that's like a staging area for viewings or what, but it doesn't really offer a good look inside. But still a really cool place to check out. Lots of amazing old historic graves, and looks like, again, a heavy German immigration area from the mid to late 1800s here, and found some very interesting stuff. And I just love how a lot of these old memorials look, even in their state of decay and age here. It looks so amazing. So I came over to check this little abandoned property over here from the edge of the graveyard. I found this old sign and a bunch of debris. There's not much back here, but I thought the fence line was kind of cool, and I wanted to take a quick look up this direction. I wasn't sure if maybe we would find anything off the side here, any old pieces of farmhouse or furniture, but at the very least there's kind of this very interesting old fence that you can tell has been just made by piling sticks together and then weaving them in and out of vertically, well, of the horizontally placed sticks here, or branches, and then have been painted white. And obviously over the years it's overgrown with different vines and whatnot, but I think this is actually an active farm. I'm pretty sure the abandoned area ended back there, but I thought it was kind of interesting to show this. And of course, as usual, I wanted to check along this edge here to see, because these are notorious areas for the graveyards. When these trees grow up, a lot of times they hide the graves underneath, but here it appears that there hasn't really been any issues. So we really didn't get to see any abandoned stuff other than, I guess, the edge of that fence probably was not built by those people. That house behind there looks amazing and really new. So I am gonna guess that even if it is that family's historic property, that was built by their ancestors many years ago, or that this section back here, which is the abandoned section, and I'll try to get a shot on the way out of the old lions or gargoyles or whatever that's at the driveway, but it might have been a part of that property originally. So thank you all for watching this episode of 539. Make sure to check out the second channel, youtube.com/mystery, MISTORY, for some epic live streams that we do over there, as well as some upcoming regular sort of off-topic episodes that wouldn't really fit here on 539. So make sure if you haven't hit that subscribe button over here on 539, hit that subscribe button, turn those bell notifications on so you don't miss a single episode ever. And thank you all, and I will see you in the next adventure. So, kind of strange. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye, everybody.